Good evening. This is Sam Vaughn for Sam Sports Report. Today's date is January 27th, 2023. This is Sam Vaughn. Eagles 49ers, we won't go over it as much as the Chiefs and Bengals. The Eagles have the quarterback edge at Jalen Hurts and Brock Purdy. Jalen Hurts, the superstar. Brock Purdy, the miracle quarterback, working his miracle. You have to give the edge for the Eagles for Jalen Hurts. You have to give the edge for the 49ers for the running game, Deebo Samuels and Christian McCaffrey. In the 28 on rushing, the Eagles have one of the best 1-2 combo, A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. Special teams edges the 49ers. NFL defense edges the Niners with Joey Bosa. Give me the Eagles on that game, though. 30-23. They were obviously my Super Bowl pick, so we're sticking with them right now. The Kansas City Chiefs will play the Bengals again. McCole Hardman was limited in practice again. Travis Kelce was a full participant, but is questionable with the back. Kelce's not missing in this game, I don't think. Hobbled. Patrick Mahomes. He wasn't even on the injury list. He has a high ankle injury. Justin Watson sometimes gets involved in the deep game. He is questionable. On the 18, they talked about the Bengals, how they put the game in a curve. So now it's 1 point Chiefs. It's gone a curve down by 2.5. It was a pick'em game for a while. Now it's Chiefs by 1. Let's listen in more to talk about the curve.
Last night you predicted the Chiefs 31-13. You standing by that?
I am. I'm standing by it. I think, look, and it's just one game. The average Joe is all over the Bengals this week, a smokescreen to a certain extent. I think the Chiefs handle their business this week.
What do you think has happened with the betting line? You studied as close as anybody. What do you think has been at the root of all the line movement?
Yeah, what we know for sure is that, Circa Sports basically had a fundamental line between the two teams of 6.5. Chiefs favored if Mahomes is completely healthy. We'll take bets off screen before they post just to get a kind of idea of what their risk is going to look like initially. And so then a lot of books posted either Chiefs -3 initially or -2.5. 3 is a valuable number in the NFL because about 8% of games land 3, especially playoff games. There are no ties, right? So there's 0% a chance the game is going to land 0. And then 1-2 on either side of 0. The combined percentage at best was about 10%. So the market moved about 10% in the favor of the Bengals in the first day and a half, 2 days, or called right angle sports, taking Kansas City at +2.5. That moved it down to +1. And then what we've seen today after some of the reports and the fact that Mahomes is practicing a little bit, we've seen now the game is trending about towards a pick-em here. So that's basically been the movement there. I think the initial move, in hindsight especially, but even at the time, felt like a head fake by professionals to try to get that number as close to Chiefs +3 as they could so that they could bet as limits got higher on Kansas City. And legal in about half the states. The combination of, the Bengals beating the Chiefs the last 3 times, the Bengals looking really good against Buffalo, and Kansas City's best player and the best player of the entire NFL being injured, I felt like that was, a thought process that went into saying, okay, we could head fake this market all the way over to get the Chiefs as a home dog in the AFC title game.
How many times do the Chiefs win by the kind of margin you're predicting?
20%.
How many times do the Bengals win by that kind of margin?
10%.
The matchups. It's the quarterback position. The quarterback position goes on ESPN. Mahomes is a better player, but Joe Burrow is a better quarterback. To be honest, I don't know what that means, but I'll give him push, and Mahomes is slightly the better quarterback, but I'll go ahead and give him push for the quarterbacks. Running back position, as a whole, the Chiefs are 19th and getting better. Meanwhile, the Bengals are 27th and maybe better than the Chiefs, but you got to give the Chiefs the edge in this part of the game. Receiving, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, you got to give the Bengals the edge. Making Boyd the only player that can beat the Chiefs would be an ideal game. Chiefs, of course, have Tre'Davious Toney. McCole Hardman's probably out, so that makes it Sky Moore, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Martell Valdez-Scantling. Tight end play, you got to give Travis Kelce, although was just questionable. There aren't many people that think he's not going to play. Bengals tight end, Hayden Hurts, average tight end, but coming up in big moments, but all given an average tight end. Offensive line, you have to slightly begin towards the Chiefs, although the Chiefs don't have a great line. Orlando Brown and Joe Tooney and Creed Humphrey, all those players above average, but Andrew Wiley and Orlando Brown make them average, or a little above average. You have to give it on the Chiefs on the edge, though, on this one, because they have 3 offensive linemen out for the Bengals. Chiefs are 10th in defense, but getting better. A lot of people, Chiefs need to put the quarterback on the ground 4 times. They also need to turn over the ball more. The Chiefs turned over. Chris Jones and, shockingly, Frank Clark are most sacks in playoff history. The Bengals are really good at dropping back, which then leads them to a 3rd defense overall. Chiefs are about 10th. A lot of people have the Bengals, although I have the Chiefs 31-24. The Eagles are my pick to win it all, and they're my pick to win 30-23 tomorrow. The Missouri Tigers will play a big matchup against the Iowa State Cyclones. Host Iowa State, Missouri does. Missouri is unranked, and at 9 seed, the Missouri Tigers are 1.5 dog. Right now, Mizzou beat Ole Miss. Last game, Iowa State beat Kansas State. Give me Iowa State 84-80. Kansas State will meet Florida this week. Florida is not a bad team. I'm taking Kansas State, number 7, though. 77-70. Florida is 12-8. Kansas State is 17-3. Kansas State to host the game at 5. Kansas has lost 3 in a row, just the 3rd time in his career. Bill Self has never lost 4 in a row in his 20 years. I'll take Kansas by 3 over Kentucky. Kentucky is favored by 2. Game time is at 7. Grady Dick hasn't been great, but Jalen Wilson has had 3 career games in a row. Kansas and Kansas State will meet up Tuesday. That game tips off on ESPN Plus, lame ESPN Plus. Tomorrow we'll do more coaching and college basketball, and again, Jason and Sam maybe. This is Sam Vaughn for Sam Sports Report. Ken Dorsey, promoted to quarterback coach in 2013, position coach, won league MVP Cam Newton 2015, a former quarterback himself. Dorsey became the Bills quarterback coach in 2019 and remains that role until he was promoted to the offensive coordinator before the start of the 22 season under the watch of the Bills' offensive ranked 2nd in the NFL in scoring. Steve Wilkes, notably with the Panthers at 6-6 after replacing Matt Rule, keeping Carolina in a contention for the NFC South. He originally rejoined the team in 2022 as a defensive pass game coordinator and secondary coach. He spent combined 7 years with the franchise, previously remaining multiple, including assistant coaches, head coaches in 2012 to 2017. His last experience as a full-time head coach was 2018, and he went 3-13 at his dismissal record. Caldwell was 67. He spent seasons with the NFL, but remained a popular tag, last seen by Dolphins as an assistant coach. In 2019, he was best known for his separate the Saints with the Colts Lions, a longtime right-handed man. The 2009, quickly advancing to Super Bowl, exciting after 3 years. He went 36-28 as a head coach from 2014 to 2017, guiding the Lions to 2 playoff appearances. Eagles offensive coordinator John Steinich is 37 years old. Sirianni's primary offensive play caller for most of the season, of the 2 seasons together in Philadelphia, and growth from Jalen Hurts and the Eagles offense prior to the Philadelphia. He spent 10 of his 11 seasons as an NFL coaching with the Chargers, notably offensive coordinator with Justin Herbert. Herbert during his quarterback rookie year, Giants offensive coach Kafka is 35, potentially prized under Andy Reid for the first playing under Reid as a backup quarterback with 2011-2010 of the as the Chiefs assistant. He was Patrick Mahomes' positional coach, and during the quarterback's first 2 seasons, he landed a job first offense coordinator role with Brian Dable as overseeing the Daniel Jones and the emergencies of Daniel Jones. Obviously, Frank Wright became the head coach of the Panthers. This is Sam Vaughn for Sam Sports Report. Have a good afternoon.